Hey everyone, welcome back. Last time we left off with David's heart-wrenching grief over his son Absalom's death. It was a victory for his kingdom, but a devastating personal loss. Today, in 2 Samuel chapter 19, we see how this grief almost costs him everything again. David is just weeping uncontrollably, crying out, "Oh, my son Absalom, my son Absalom!" His soldiers, who just risked their lives for him, hear this and feel completely dejected. They had won a major battle to restore their king, but now they feel like they've done something wrong. They're slinking back into the city like defeated soldiers, not victorious heroes. This is where Joab, David's tough-as-nails commander, steps in. He goes straight to David and doesn't mince words. He basically says, "What are you doing? You are shaming the very men who just saved your life and the lives of your family. You seem to love your enemies and hate your friends. If you don't get out there and speak to your men, I swear not one of them will remain with you by tonight, and that will be a worse disaster than anything you've ever faced." It's harsh, but it's what David needs to hear. Joab's wake-up call works. David gets up, washes his face, and sits at the city gate where the people can see him. And when they see their king is back with them, the morale is restored. The people rally around him once more. This is a powerful lesson in leadership. A leader's personal feelings, no matter how valid, can't be allowed to demoralize the people who depend on them. With Absalom gone, the path is clear for David to return to Jerusalem as king. But it's not that simple. The tribes of Israel are divided. The 10 northern tribes are hesitant, wondering why Judah, David's own tribe, hasn't made the first move to bring him back. David, showing some political savvy, sends a message to the priests in Jerusalem. He tells them to ask the elders of Judah, "Why are you the last to bring the king back?" He reminds them they are his own flesh and blood. Then he makes a shocking political move. He reaches out to Amasa, the man who was the commander of Absalom's rebel army, and says, "Are you not my bone and my flesh? From now on, you will be the commander of my army in place of Joab." Wow, why would he do that? Well, it's a brilliant stroke of reconciliation. By promoting the former rebel commander, he's signaling to all who followed Absalom that they will be forgiven and welcomed back. It's a move to heal the nation. However, it's also a major snub to Joab, who, despite his loyalty, has become a thorn in David's side. This decision will have serious consequences down the line. As David makes his way back, several key figures from his escape come to meet him. There's Shimei, the man who cursed and threw stones at David when he was fleeing. Now he comes begging for his life, and David, in a spirit of grace, pardons him. Then there's Mephibosheth, Jonathan's son, who looks completely disheveled. He claims his servant Ziba tricked him and slandered him to David. David seems tired of the drama and just decides to split the land between them. But the unity is fragile. When the men of Judah arrive to escort David across the Jordan, the other tribes of Israel get angry. They feel excluded. They shout, "We have 10 shares in the king. Why did you despise us?" The men of Judah fire back, "Because the king is our relative." The argument gets heated, and the chapter ends with the words of the men of Judah being harsher than the words of the men of Israel. This deep-seated tribal tension is a powder keg waiting for a spark, and that spark comes in chapter 20. A troublemaker named Sheba from the tribe of Benjamin seizes the moment. He blows a trumpet and yells, "We have no portion in David, no inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to his tents, O Israel." And just like that, the 10 northern tribes abandon David and follow this new rebel Sheba. Only the tribe of Judah remains loyal. The nation is split in two all over again. David sends his newly appointed commander, Amasa, to gather the army of Judah and crush this rebellion. But Amasa takes longer than the 3 days David gave him. Getting impatient and worried, David turns to Abishai, Joab's brother, and says, "Go after Sheba before he causes more harm than Absalom did." Joab joins his brother, and as they're marching, they meet Amasa. Joab greets him warmly, saying, "Is it well with you, my brother?" He takes Amasa by the beard as if to kiss him, but with his other hand, he pulls out a hidden sword and strikes Amasa dead. It's a brutal, cold-blooded assassination. Joab couldn't stand being replaced. With Amasa out of the way, Joab resumes command of the army and relentlessly pursues Sheba. He corners Sheba in a city called Abel. Joab prepares to besiege the city and tear down its walls. But a wise woman from the city calls out to him. She negotiates a deal. Hand over the rebel Sheba and we will spare your city. The people of the city do just that. They cut off Sheba's head and throw it over the wall to Joab. The rebellion is over. The story ends with a list of David's officials, and right there at the top of the military is a familiar name. Joab, back in his old position as commander of the army. It seems no matter what David wants, he just can't get rid of the powerful and ruthless Joab. These two chapters show us the messy, complicated reality of leadership, forgiveness, and human ambition. David's kingdom is restored, but the cracks are deeper than ever, setting the stage for even more turmoil to come. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the Bible. See you next time.